Phoebe is staring down at the corpse of the toad demon, her lip trembling. Vesa chuckles. If you think it's loathsome now, imagine when it was alive. She pulls her nose. Nine hells, it stinks. Why have you not burned it? Preoccupied, says Darren. I want to leave, says Phoebe. Remember what I said about keeping quiet, says... Oh, it's the child Phoebe that's saying, oh, why the fuck is the demon Phoebe talking about leaving? I'm guessing it's a child Phoebe. Remember what I said about keeping quiet, says Vesa. Phoebe nods and shuts her mouth, her lips trembling. Warm yourself by the fire, says Vesa, pointing at the fire beside you. Phoebe takes a small step towards you, and the fire, and then stops. She stares at you, appears about to say something, then her mouth clamps shut. She's my gift to you, Vesa says to Darren as she steps over and places a gentle hand on Phoebe's head. I understand the house finds uses for the young ones. Ooh, the house is into pedophilia or something? Or maybe it's not a pedophile joke. Maybe it's maybe they make like children assassins and like, I don't know, suicide bombers or something. I don't know. I mean, child assassins would make sense. I mean, child assassins, no one would no one like really thinks that it's a child, so it's not an assassin. Usually, you would think so, but I guess they could be making child assassins, or maybe it was right what I was thinking earlier, and then maybe they're into they're doing like child prostitution or something like that. They sold them to nobles or something to play around with. That could be the case. Either one could be the case. I mean, there could be other cases as well. Maybe they just drain life from the young ones and they have like better life material on them. They were sucking that one guy off, not in the sexual manner, in the like bloodletting manner, who was chained. Anyhow, where were we? Yes. Krugel bites his lower lip as his eye roves over Phoebe. Your strength has completely returned now. You test your bonds, grunting with the effort. I must say that your security here is lax, says Vesa, running her fingers through Phoebe's knotted hair. If even poorly groomed children wander about, unknown to you. We have some irregularities in our operations as of late, says Darren, casting a sideways glance at you. My lady, you are a welcome replacement, says Krugel, who has taken his attention from Phoebe to now stare at the succubus again. He blushes. Vanessa returns his gaze with a slow, knowing grin. I'm here only temporarily, fill in as Kree's ambassadors and sentry to the House division of Ring City, but also because I shall require your help. The House has given your master a great deal. Any additional aid from us will require negotiations with the Council, says Daring, pulling up to his full height. Oh, I don't think you're in a position to be asking for anything, she says, pointing at the headless corpse. You lost our ambassador. No ambassador, says Darren, raising his chin high. He was a stupid thug. He gave us no counsel, only stench. His only interest was terrorizing the river children. I expected him to at least be a capable bodyguard. Like, yet look at him. For the first time, Vanessa seems to notice you. She nods in your direction. He's doing? Yes, says Krugel, who quickly walks over to his robe, opens it to reveal your weapon. With help from this, Vanessa glares at the blade and grits her perfectly white teeth. He then looks at you and crinkles her eyebrows. This is a paladin? He does not look the part. He is no paladin, Darren says with a faint smile. Since his arrival in Ring City, we have been watching him enough to know that much. Krugel plays his hand and smiles at Vanessa sheepishly. It confounds me how he's able to wield that weapon. I've been meaning to ask him before. He pauses as his eye darts over to you before he departs. He finishes. Alethea's will, as her simpleton worshippers say. Vesa says, sneering, they know of no other answer. Well, we are not a follower of Aletheia, but they don't need to know that. It's better that way, if they just think we are a follower of Aletheia and doing all this. Anyhow, Vesa leans down and smiles at you. Her glowing skin glows with a orange tint in the firelight. She runs her tongue over. What you now see are small fangs embedded within her perfect teeth. Little more than a boy, she whispers. He is not for you, says Darren, sold to Thog. This is to be delivered soon, Thog. She sees, keeping her eyes on you. Such a waste. Her breath is hot and sweet. Suddenly she tilts her head and looks into your eyes. She leans in further, her face only inches from your own. She inhales your scent. That's interesting. Her smile broadens. Whom have you been cavorting with? Without waiting for your response, she chuckles and stands up, turning to Darren. Now... Oh, she must have smelled the other succubus on us. Okay. Now waiting for your response, she chuckles and stands up, turning to Darren. Now about the aid my master Gal requires of the house. I shall have access to Duke's castle, no gates, no wards. And the Duke is just fucking the entire Ring City over. I feel like the Duke is and the nobles are just allowing every foreign force, mortal or otherwise, to just interfere in Ring City. This city is like really corrupt. Getting you into the Duke's castle is easy enough, but could cause problems if the Duke were to find out we smuggled a demon into his home. It sounds like the Duke that shouldn't really have a problem because like everyone is summoning demons around here. But anyhow, the Duke, says Darren. The answer is no. Find your own way in. I heard of a smuggling tunnel into the castle, says Vanessa, ignoring Darren's refusal. That should do. What smuggling tunnel? I've never heard of that. Maybe we didn't find it. Vanessa is staring at you, seemingly lost in thought. You suppose you could offer your service as a guide. As a hero, you ought to be able to get into the castle. If Vesape is the part of a friend, on the other hand, you really want to get mixed up with another dangerous woman? And what about Phoebe? You would rather not leave her down here with the scoundrels. Well, I highly doubt they would. Yeah, I don't. Even if I offer my services, this is not gonna work. But I could just offer it. It's not like they're gonna beat the shit out of me for that, right? Maybe I'll get a morale or something if I offer the service. They're not gonna take it. They're not gonna take my offer, but I could just say that. Morale increases 1. Yes, I could just say that. You can't imagine a worse fate than getting sent to Thog. By comparison, the succubus may as well be your loving mother. As for some mommy dumb shit. Okay, I'm about that. As for Phoebe, you can't do her any good as a prisoner in this secret lair. Worse, once you're in Thog's clutches, you'll be of use to no one. Raising your head, you clear your throat and start to speak. I would be happy to aid the beautiful lady. I'm a hero in the class. I am hero in the castle and get you anywhere you want. You shut your mouth, says Darren, kicking the thin layer of water on the floor, splashing you. Vanessa smiles at you. You feel warmth inside. Oh, now here is someone who's trying to be helpful. He spares Darren a hard look for a moment, then returns to you. I certainly could use a hero, and I could certainly use someone like you say, looking at her up and down. Oh, I like this one, she says. He has confidence and suspects he knows an opportunity when presented with one. Aiding others lead to the greatest opportunities, you say, winking at her. That's what I always say. Yes, Vanessa says, clasping her hands. I shall borrow you. Okay, so she actually took us. That's not usually how it goes. Abruptly, Vanessa pulls you off of the corpse onto your feet with her gauntleted hands. In a flash, she cuts your bonds with a dagger from her belt. You shall now show respect, says Darren, flexing her long and slender fingers. He is mine. You need not fear the escape of your prize, she says. I will bind him to my will and return him when I'm done. One day a night is all I ask. Bind his mind, I have no doubt, but will you protect his body, says Darren. You have to deliver his soul, body, and property to Oblivion's priesthood. Oblivion's priesthood? Oh, the Thog, right. That is the contract. We are indebted to your master, but I would not risk breaking a contract, not even for Galmagus. I have already told the Thogians that I have him. Vanessa seems to ignore the Dark Elves as she says, my master requires the head of an enemy shared with you and every good citizen of the city. A member of my sisterhood has infiltrated the Duke's castle and my master simply wants to remedy this. Her name is Azazel, Binder of Souls. Now, this is so confusing to me. Like, you should not have used the same name, okay? In Viz's choice, Nerul's assistant is called Azazel. And from the sounds of it, she was huge, and I don't think she was a succubus either. There's no way that this is her, right? I mean, it could be. It could be. I've not played Demon's Choice, and I'm not going to, because the main character is female, and considering how sexual this game gets, I'd rather not get an option like, do you want to fucking suck his dick or do you not want to suck his dick? Like, what the fuck? I'm just gonna be like, what the fuck do I type here? But that's besides the point. I'm not gonna be playing that, so I'm just gonna assume from this point on. I'm just gonna assume that Azazel is the underling of Nerul, who died, and now she's working for this Galmagus or whatever his name is. A member of my sisterhood has infiltrated the Duke's castle, and my master simply wants to remedy this. What does that mean? Does she want to kill that girl? I don't know. Remedy a mistake he made, no doubt, says Darren. Now you propose to make his mistake my problem. Remedy a mistake he made, no doubt, says Darren. Now you propose to make his mistake my okay. I don't know why that fucking threw me off, but that's a simple enough sentence. I've heard this name before, says Krugel, rubbing his chin. Azazel. Dangerous, asked Darren, looking over to his truthsayer. Very, says Krugel. Darren turns to Vanessa. We can get you into the castle, however we shall go alone. You do not need Thog's price. Vanessa shakes her head. Thog's price is well acquainted with my target. I can smell her on him. He may be my means of access. Raising your hand, you say, I certainly know the enemy she haunts. We are indeed lovers, passionate lovers. She hunts, not haunts. Nothing more from you, shouts Darren, taking a menacing step in your direction. You try to get behind Vanessa to use it as a shield, but the succubus shoves you away. Why did she shove me away? That's kind of rude. Seriously, dude. As for your replacement for your advisor from Kriuzaz, says Vanessa. Vesa, not Vanessa. As for your replacement for an advisor from Kriuzaz, says Vesa, tapping her chin with her perfectly manicured nail. Gal can have a lot of influence on that choice. For example, there is a Balor, a particularly unruly one that we have been trying to find a home for. Darren's eyes bulge and his mouth drops open. Vanessa smiles as she points at the corpse of the toad demon. You think that was an unpleasant guess? She throws back her head and laughs. Or alternate to a Balor, maybe another succubus, says Krugel in a pleading voice. It is said that Galmagus has many succubi. Many, echoes Vanessa. The finest in the multiverse, she grins. One's both clever and of dispositions most pleasant. Everyone is silent for a long moment, and then finally Darren speaks. Take him, but you have 1 day, 1 night, and then you must return him intact, both in mind and body. You have completely recovered from the earlier spell, so take an easy step towards your sack of weapons. I don't think that's a good idea. Vanessa catches your arm in an iron grip. I will want my weapons, you say, for the sake of appearances. She chuckles and spins you around to her face. She smiles as she looks into your eyes. Tell me, Rooster, do you enjoy kissing the lady? She leans in close, her mouth, sweet breath drawing you in. She's going to charm me, you think. With all the experience you have had lately, the woman trying to exert themselves on your mind, maybe you have more resistance from the succubus than the succubus expects. Just having Egra in your mind all that time, pushing and pulling, has made you stronger. This haughty abyssal wench assumes you cannot fight her charm. What do you say? Especially ones in plate mail. That's a good one. I prefer the lips of a man upon mine. Upon my own. Man, these options are really good. Yes, I do, miss. Yes, I do. The first option is really pleading. I don't like that one. The last one is hilarious. And the second one is really good. It's like very charming and shit. So we are going to kiss her regardless. There's no point in pulling away. The last time we tried to pull away was when we were with the Thogian bitch. And she fucking chewed our fucking mouth off, honestly. Especially ones in plate mail. Let's say that. Humor at all times. As you have learned from the movies, jokes must certainly be made even when death is staring you in the face. But as Elbert Hubbard says, I've heard that name before, said, don't take life too seriously. You'll never get out of it alive. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Don't take life too seriously. You'll never get out of it alive. That's a good one. Premium bonus. What the hell are premium bonus points? My first time seeing this. Especially ones in plate mail, you say. This earns you a chuckle from the Dark Elf and a nervous laugh from Krugel. Vanessa raises an eyebrow. Oh, so you fancy yourself to have a sense of humor. Those of us in the abyss have an amazing sense of humor. She knees you in the groin. She knees you as in like she like fucking like knees the fuck out of you in the fucking groin, or like she like lifts you up from her knee in the groin. Let's see. She knees you in the groin, her plated knee pad clinking. Are you like a lady in plate mail now? She asks as you lean over, red-faced and groaning. You are not to harm him, shouts Darren. You have not even left my sight and you're already abusing him. Our agreement was no lasting harm, she says, cutting him off. Anyways, after Thog, he will have no use for that particular part anyway. She grabs you by your hair and pulls you up straight. See? She smiles at Darren. Suddenly, she cups your crotch into her hand without a gauntlet on. Where there have been pain. Oh, she did knee us. I thought she was like just like touching us with the plate mail fucking knee, but she like fucking kneed fucking commando fucking kick to the balls type shit. Holy shit, that's gotta hurt. She grabs you by your hair and pulls you up straight. See? She smiles at Darren. Suddenly, she cups your crotch with a hand without a gauntlet on. Where there have been pain, now warmth and a tingling pleasure infuses you. He's fine, and I think he's about ready for a kiss. Okay, let's see. Rooster, do not forget what you came here for, asks Forbes. Don't you have something to ask Ruda here? Everyone turns to the little girl, who has been silent and statue still since Vanessa told her to be quiet. He fears I'll forget my quest once I'm beguiled, you think. Beguiled, you think.